So, Lawyer Rich, can I apply to naturalise as a British citizen even if I have a criminal record?
Normally, you will not be able to apply to become a British citizen if you have a criminal record. But before we say anything, let's look at what the law says. British citizenship is governed by the British Nationality Act 1981. And this law came into effect 1983. So we're going to look at section 6.1, paragraph 1 of the schedule 11B, which says that any person applying to become a British citizen must have good character. So good character, then we will see criminality in it. Good character could be anything to do with your past immigration, that is your immigration history, whether you entered the UK illegally or you have been in the UK illegally, and then you have committed a crime. So people will normally have criminal record, for example, maybe speeding, and done something they've been sentenced to custodial sentence. If that is the case, you may not be able. But we are saying, based on a decision by the court, R and Hearing, the court said that Home Office should not apply the law so strict rigidly by not actually looking at a person's circumstances. So based on that, we say that you should be able to apply to naturalize as a British citizen, even if you have a criminal record, because your case will be assessed individually on the merits of what you are asking Home Office to do for you. But before anything, let's look at the requirements for one to naturalize as a British citizen. We are looking at a person who is over 18 years, a person who is of sound mind. You have intention to remain or keep the UK as your main home. You have passed the English language or the life in the UK test in UK. You have also met the residence requirement, which is you should have been here legally for 5 years, and of course the good character, which is the main topic of discussion for today. So if you ask me that can you still apply with criminal record, I would say yes. The reason why I say yes is that a person could actually mitigate their circumstances. So you've committed a crime by overspeeding or drink drive. There could be a reason why that happened. Although we are not saying that having that means that it doesn't mean anything, we are saying under some circumstances you should be able to explain to Home Office by putting forward some mitigation circumstances. I'll give another example of application that we did for a lady who was a social worker. She had 2 speeding tickets. An offense under the speeding, that is driving offense. This was something that she was worried that it will prevent her from becoming a British citizen. What we did was to explain to Home Office as to the reasons behind her speeding. We don't say, giving reasons is just help for them to understand. And remember, you shouldn't be persistent offender. So even though Home Office may overlook some offenses and still consider you to naturalize, you shouldn't have been committed that offense over and over and over again. So for example, we say that getting a ticket, maybe parking ticket or speeding ticket, may not be on your record, but if you have that so many of them, it may cause problems when you apply to naturalize. So naturalization is by discretion. Nobody is entitled unless you are registering. So the difference between naturalization and registration is that a person like myself who has come from Ghana, lived here for legally for 5 years, passed the English, or maybe I have a degree, done the life in the UK, you can ask Home Office to naturalize you as a British citizen because you don't have any entitlement. Home Office will apply discretion, and the discretion is whereby they are looking at your character as well. And if they are satisfied that although you have some, issues in the past, maybe you've repented, you haven't done that anymore or again, they will be able to consider you based on the case law that I just mentioned. So, in summary, if a person has a criminal record or have done something in the past that under the law they see that they may not be able to do, you come to RBN solicitors. What we do is that we will sit you down, consider the circumstances, in a round, and see whether there is a window for us to explain to Home Office the reason why that offense was committed and the fact that you have not done such act again. I want everyone to remember that Rehabilitation Act may not apply under the Nationality Act. The reason is that your crime or whatever you've done will always remain and it has to be disclosed to Home Office when you're applying to naturalize. Unlike immigration application that sometimes it will say that maybe 10 years your crime has elapsed. With nationality, it will always stay and you will always have to disclose anything that has occurred in the past for Home Office to assess and make their judgment whether they will apply favorable discretion or not. So don't be too worried. You can come forward if you have any issue in the past. We should be able to explain the Home Office, and you should be able to succeed with your application to naturalize, even though there is some sort of criminality in the past. I hope this will encourage people to come forward to naturalize. As becoming a British is a privilege, and it will help you a lot in achieving a lot in the UK. Thank you.
Thank you, Lloyd Rich. I understand.